Welcome to Moments with Melinda. I'm so thrilled to be back in the studio with Rusty DeWees. How are you?
Very, very good. Yeah.
You're very, very
Doing
good.
very well. Thank you.
As well you should be.
Mind, body, and spirit.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
So when we walked in, I just want to tell my viewers that a couple of the folks in the back office said that we look like twins.
Yeah, I think we do.
I think we do.
I really do think that.
I mean, I think...
We have the same skin
I know,
tone,
everything.
hair.
I mean, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
Well, how thrilled am I to be back in the studio and to have you with me?
Well, I'm thrilled to be here. I really mean that. No, that's great.
I know you do, because we do know each other.
Easy.
I know, we should get to know each other better. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about Rusty DeWees.
Go ahead.
Rusty DeWees is an American actor, motivational speaker, producer, and writer. He works regionally in Vermont, off-Broadway, in television, and in films. He is best known for his one-man comedy show, The Logger. Rusty also is an educator of writing and performance, and I know about this because I attended one of his 6-week classes. And you are also, I have to say, a musician.
Yeah, you were in. That was a great thing that you did.
That was a great
about
writing.
Rowan.
I just loved everybody in that class.
It's fun.
But you're also a musician. We're going to talk about that.
Okay.
And my understanding is that you have never been on a show at Channel 17.
Correct.
So this is Rusty DeWees' premiere.
Can I do a little cul-de-sac here? Well, I remember when I was first starting with my show. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there was a this type of broadcast from these two trans guys. What were their names?
I can't remember.
Cherry Tart.
Oh, Cherry Tart.
Cherry Tart and another guy,
Okay.
a girl or whatever. And that was way over by the airport.
Oh, okay.
It's the only thing like this I've done.
Oh my heavens, I can't believe it. Well, then this is
first rate.
This is your premiere at Channel 17. Well, listen, we've got a lot to talk about.
Go ahead.
So welcome to my show, Rusty DeWees. Now, you were born in Pennsylvania. I was born in Pennsylvania.
Where?
I was born in Allentown.
Yeah, how far is that from Philadelphia, my home?
Oh, it's about an hour and a half.
Yeah, I don't know much about it.
Do you remember the Beep Bopper?
No.
Okay.
Was he on screen
Well, he was
TV
down
guy?
in Philadelphia, and we
Young
go
guy?
down and we dance. We go down and dance at Jerry Blavat, the Beep Bopper.
We moved when I was 7, but there was a woman that would do the TV show. Her name was Sally Starr.
Oh, Sally
Yeah,
Starr. It
yeah,
was
yeah.
Popeye.
Okay.
It was Popeye Theater. Sally Starr. I watched it every...
She was all dressed up like a cow woman.
Oh, I
right?
loved her.
Yeah, I remember that.
And you were born in 1960, which makes
Correct.
you 10 years younger than me.
Okay.
Yes.
When's your birthday?
I'm in May.
So you just turned 76?
76.
I'll be 66 in November.
Oh, wow. Are you a Scorpio?
Yeah.
And I'm a Taurus, so we're in opposition, but that makes us like each other. Okay, so now we got that taken care of.
Well, that's good to know.
Who would you say had the greatest impact and influence on your comedic talent?
Okay, I'll narrow it down. Thanks for that question. I'll narrow it down. I would have to say Carol O'Connor, who played Archie Bunker in All in the Family, I would say.
No kidding.
That's the answer to that question.
That's fantastic.
Yes. I could give you reasons, but that's the answer. You're only
Well,
asking.
give me a reason.
Because he was on the show All in the Family, which was written by Norman Lear, and it was an ensemble, rest in peace, Rob Reiner, Gene Stapleton, Sally Struthers. And it was done like a theater play. And basically, the simple answer is that scripting and that acting and Carol O'Connor as Archie Bunker could take you from wild hilarity to being mad at him because he's a bigot to having you cry because of the love that he would show to people. He could do that within a minute. And watch that over and over and over.
His love for Edith.
Yes. So that's how I learned that stuff. And I would give him, he was my most.
Oh, that's amazing. What a great person to pick. So what brought you to Vermont because you attended Stowe High School?
Yeah, very liberal guy, Carol O'Connor, liberal Catholic.
Was he really?
Oh.
Wow, because I don't think people know that.
Oh, well, that's why I said it.
Because you said he was a big, well, no, Archie
And the
Bunker
TV.
was a big.
That's why I said
but he was not.
What was the question? Why did we
I said, what brought you to Vermont? Because you went to Stowe High School.
Yeah, Mom, seven years old, but moved here. My mother and father, Philadelphia people. My sister, 5 years older than I. They moved here the same reason. Whoop! Somebody just moved here. Somebody just moved to Stowe. I can hear them moving there. They're a 45-year-old couple with little kids. Same reason they're moving there today, because it's safe. there's water, there's
Are they
air.
moving there today? No.
Same reason people are still moving to
Moving there.
Vermont. My
Yeah.
parents were
Right.
just the same. And that's
Moving out of Philadelphia.
moving out of Philly to come up here because of the mountains and the green. Let's get the kids and we have a young family. Let's move to Vermont. And that's why they moved here.
But you know, when I go down to that area, like to Philly or to New York, when I step out of the train or the plane, I breathe in that industrial smell. And my husband says, "You come alive." I mean, there's something about the industrial smell of that part of the world.
Well,
Anyway.
I was just in Manhattan, as you know, a couple
Sure.
days ago, and no, I love it. I love it. But if you're Bill DeWees and he's 58 years old, and Marilyn was 20 years younger, 38, and you got 2 kids, I think Vermont's a good place to come, and that's why they came here. And it was the right move. I never ended thanking them for moving here for us. Would have
sure
been
they
fine
can
if we
hear you.
stayed in Philly, but this is
It's
amazing.
so much better. I mean, look where you are. Were you a skier?
Yes, sure.
You were.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to go skiing sometime.
Yeah.
So now you performed in.
Still am a skier.
Well, then I'd love to drag you to Mad River sometime. So you performed in high school plays.
Yes.
You played basketball for Stowe High School, and you played percussion in the school band. Did you ski in the ski team at Stowe?
I didn't ski on the ski team, but I was 1 year older than Tiger Shaw. And all those little Mount Mansfield Ski Club kids were Ryan Cochran Siegel, in Mount Mansfield Academy, and MMSC. I would run the gates, but because I was interested in basketball, you couldn't do both. I am a World Cup, USA World Cup skiing darn fan, women's and men. So I really watch it.
You love the sport?
I love the sport, and I do love to ski. Skied in Zermatt, Switzerland this January. First time I ever went over there to ski.
Oh, what fun!
Yeah.
Well, so you were in high school plays. I was on my high school basketball team.
Oh.
I was captain in my freshman year, and I averaged 27 points a game.
You're kidding me.
And that was back in the days when
agree.
women couldn't. But anyway.
When
so-
you only went halfway across the court or something?
Yeah, but I could because I was a roving forward, so I could go across.
27 a game.
Anyway,
Cripes. That's
that was
before
my-
three-pointer.
I know.
Way before.
So and then you played percussion in the school band. Okay, so talk to us about your high school years. I'll bet you were very popular.
I happened to be in a class. I think these things go in spurts. My class, everyone was popular. We got along really well. Stowe is a great place to go to school. So I was the person who wasn't interested in studies. Still am not. I really, early on, 10, 11, 12 years old, I figured out that I was not going to study on that stuff because I am not interested in that social studies and history. I'm not interested in that. And I knew as a young kid, therefore I'm not putting any time into it. But I put time into the basketball, the drumming, and the plays. And the staff and the faculty at Stowe High School recognized that right up through the early teens, right to the end. And they really didn't give me pressure to excel at marks or anything. It was what we called them back in the day as marks. And nor did my parents. Every once in a while, my parents would be called in, Rusty's not doing as good as he could. And they were like, okay. And then they'd say at home, the teacher said you were a really nice guy. You're kind of funny, you cut up a little bit. But you want to bring in your studies home. So the next day I'd bring my studies home, and then I'd never bring them home again. My parents would never see a book. I don't know if I ever did any homework, literally. But you got by with that back in those days. They recognized it.
Well,
this
they
guy,
did in you. I don't think they recognized it in me, but good that they recognized it
Yeah, but you
in
know
you.
stuff. I didn't
No,
want.
I
don't know stuff. I
Well,
didn't care
look at how
about
you
it.
turned out. They noticed. They knew your gift. They knew your genius, and they let you run with it.
And that's the answer to your question.
So after high school, you were a school bus driver,
Yeah.
a basketball coach, a stonemason, and a logger. You were recruited by Coach Tipson
Bob Tipson.
of the Champlain College to play basketball on their team. Talk to us about that.
Well, first of all, the reason I was a school bus driver is because my father was a Greyhound bus driver. He was 50 when I was born, and that's what I wanted to be. So when I got out of high school, not going to college, because I knew I wasn't going to college when I was 12, so I didn't study. And I started driving school buses to get,
Income.
well,
To make a living.
yes, income experience.
Oh.
I did that and coached junior varsity basketball at the same time I'm driving school buses, and was playing in those bands that used to play in the VFWs in the weekend. Meanwhile, I was out of school, high school for 4 years, coaching junior varsity basketball, playing town team. I got good. And Tipson, Bobby Roberts from Stowe, told his old Champlain coach Tipson, he said, you should come see this kid play, he's pretty good. Bob Tipson sent Dave Mitchell over, the Champlain College assistant coach, and he saw me play against the New York Giants. It was a benefit game. And Dave Mitchell came off the bleachers. He worked for Peace of Galilee. He said, Coach wants to meet you. You're good enough. And so I met him at Winooski, where a couple other guys, the great Dave Nelson out of Montpelier, played. And Coach said, yeah, I want you to come to play basketball. Now I was 21 years old. I graduated at 17. I've been out of school for 4 years. So then when I went to Champlain, I had a great time. I did like the studies.
Oh,
I took anatomy and physiology, child care things. I figured there'd be a lot of women in the child care classes. But also, what if I had a kid? I'd know. And I love the professors up there and this whole school and the 2 years. And Bob Tipson and I are still friends. And it was a great experience.
I love it.
Champlain College.
I love it.
But that's why I went to. I wasn't looking to go to school, but they came and said.
They came and grabbed you. They recruited you.
Yeah.
They wanted you. I love it. So after you graduated from Champlain, you worked as a gas jockey in Burlington.
Yeah.
So I could think of a lot of things that might be a gas jockey. But why don't you explain to us what a gas jockey is?
Yeah. I got done school and I didn't want to go on to school anymore, although the Castleton State College coach recruited me, and his name is Stan Van Gundy. Anybody that knows pro basketball knows Stan Van Gundy is the head of operations at the Detroit Pistons, and he coached for the Miami Heat. Stan Van Gundy recruited me. My claim to fame is Stan Van Gundy recruited me, and I turned him down. I said no. So that's my claim to fame. An NBA coach.
You have a lot of claim to fame. That's a good one.
So then I got interested in doing. I loved Burlington. Moving from Stowe to Burlington as a 21-year-old, it was like, oh boy, this is big time. I stayed in Burlington and I started doing plays. And in the meantime, so I went down to Rennie Bourne from Morrisville, of Bourne's in Morrisville, owned he rented it from his brother, Texaco on Shelburne Road, right when you take the right to go to the jail. And I said, Rennie, I would like a job while I'm doing these plays and stuff. I lived on Colchester Avenue, and so I pumped gas. It was greatest.
You were a gas jockey.
Just
awesome.
the greatest job ever.
I love it.
You see people
all the time. I bet you filled my tank once or twice.
Well, I'll tell you what.
So you joined the.
You see people all the time.
Right. And you don't see people anymore. You have to do it yourself. And I miss that.
That's one more thing that's
no
good, Melinda.
It is. It's one more thing. Yeah. So you joined the Vermont Repertory Theater under the direction of Robert R. Ringer. And now this was in Burlington. Talk about this.
Blessing. So I liked plays, and I did a play at Lyric called Cabaret. I wanted to do a show on the Flynn Theater stage. And I got cast in Cabaret, and I met a guy named Willie. Forget his last name. And he said, my boyfriend is doing plays over with this guy's name is Robert Ringer. And it's not at the Haraway Theater, it's in the chapel next to the Haraway Theater over at 40th and Allen. And I looked in the paper, he said, and they're doing a play called Buried Child by Sam Shepard. And this little guy, Willie, he said, you'd be great in that. So I really had this thing in me that I didn't know I had in me, and I looked in the paper, and I went to Burlington College and auditioned for Sam Shepard's Buried Child. I'd always done the Music Man. I'd always done the Bye Bye Birdie, the funny things. Yeah. But this, and I had a yearning for it. So I went down, and Robert Ringer, long story short, I read for this part called Tilden, who returns to his house because his mother, he had a kid with his mother, and his father buried the kid, and he comes back to find the kid. And the woman who played against me, her sister is in the other room right there. Jennifer O'Rourke. Megan O'Rourke was this woman's name. Literally.
Megan. Oh my God.
Sister of the woman that I played opposite, Jennifer O'Rourke, and she's 4'11", and I'm 6'4", and we had these scenes, and that was it. Robert Ringer became my mentor.
What a play.
Oh my God.
Dear Lord, I'm going to look.
Do you know anything about Sam Shepard stuff?
Yes, I do know about Sam Shepard, but
same type of thing.
But that play, what's it called again?
Buried Child. He also did True West, which we did at East. So Vermont Repertory Theater was Robert Ringer's thing back in the mid '80s, you know.
I went to those shows.
And you do it, and we
in
did
St.
Judavine,
Michael's area. Yes.
David Budbill's play, and Buried Child hit, and Judavine hit. And what I mean by hit, in this whole area, the greater Burlington area, it was the Vermont Times when Paula Routley and Pamela Polston were working there, and Peter Frayne were working there. They didn't have their own paper yet, but when something hit, became the thing to do, many people did it. So people went over there to see these plays, and I got good notices, but that's not the reason I just fell in love with it.
Oh, I wish
and
they
I
had
did that for
videotaped
about
it.
4 years, and at 29, I said, I'm moving to New York City.
Well, I got that in 1989. You moved to New York City to pursue your acting career. Talk about your work in the Doyle galleries and about your work doing commercials and movies on the side.
Two separate things. I moved to New York because I was curious. I wasn't like, I've been studying Stanislavski and I'm going to set the world on fire. I was like, because I know that I'm sure that you did the same thing, watched a lot of movies when you're in your 20s and 30s. That was the thing we did, right?
Yeah.
So I was fascinated with them. And I was a Stowe kid and doing the Buried Childs, and I was like, how do you get on that screen? I feel good doing the theater, live theater. How do you get on that screen? So I moved to New York, and I fell into this job to be assistant for a man named William J. Doyle, who owned an auction house on 87th between 3rd and Lex. When I say assistant, he had 3 young daughters who went to Spence, and Gwyneth Paltrow was their best buddy and all that type of thing. So I moved from New York City, for people to really put it, to just do this real quick. I moved from New York, from Burlington, pumping gas on the Shelburne Road at the Texaco, and I moved to New York. 3 months later, I'm eating lunch with Gloria Vanderbilt, literally, at the 21 Club with Doyle. So I just fell into that job, and I was Bill Doyle's assistant. That's what happened in auction house. I learned about art. I learned about business. He was only 47, and he was from Newton, Mass, and he'd started that auction gallery from nothing. Now his youngest daughter, who was 16 when he died, when Bill Doyle died at his house of leukemia, I got the call, and I had to drive up to Deerfield Academy to pick up Laura Doyle. It was 2 days before his 16th birthday. Well, she now runs Doyle, New York.
Oh my gosh.
So let's just say that I was 29 when I moved there to act, and all of a sudden I'm going into the Hamptons and I'm driving Bill Doyle, and it wasn't like I drove him in the back. It was a station wagon we drove around with, and he was here, and we'd go in and do the calls. He'd look at 3 pieces and tell the lady how much that they would bring at auction, or he'd go in and you'd be there and your mom died and you were in charge of the estate. Now what do I do? Well, we'll auction these bits for you, and then we'll take the rest of it and we'll sell the good stuff at a tag sale, and we'll get rid of every morsel. We'll do like the Grinch and get it out of here.
Good for you.
So that's the way that's the way
Wow.
Bill Doyle competed with Sotheby's and Christie's. But I did that for 6 years with him. He died.
Wow.
I really didn't do much acting, only in the summers, because Manhattan's quiet in the summer. I'd come home still to Stowe, and I'd do summer stock. I'd go back in the fall, and I'd have the Bill Doyle job. He died 6 years into it. Long story short, this is fascinating stuff. I could go on and on. But I stayed at the gallery for 5 more years. His wife, Kathy, took it over. 60 employees is a 6th-floor thing. And I started doing auditions. I kicked in the auditions. Jay Craven had put me in Where the Rivers Flow North.
I saw that.
I was in a picture with Rip Torn that was in the New York Times. I cut that out on 78th Avenue between 3rd and Lex, and I mimeographed that thing 100 times, and I sent that to 100 agents, and I got calls, and I started going out on commercial auditions.
Well, I had
TV.
here you also acted in Law & Order, The Cosby Mysteries, and various soap operas.
I did a lot of soaps and 2 Law & Orders, 30 national commercials. Now, this is all before that lager thing now. This is my 30s. So I'm getting all that.
For the lager thing.
And I'm getting all that experience. Oh no, I did many movies.
I know, and you were in films and
independent
commercials
ones up to big studio ones. Yeah.
Amazing. Living in New York.
Living in Manhattan.
Good for you. How long were you there?
11 years.
Okay.
That's not a short stint. You
No,
said.
it's not. Not in New York, it's not.
Right.
So talk to us about your time working with Patrick Swayze in the movie Black Dog and meeting Meatloaf and how he influenced you to produce your one-man play, The Logger, a comedy in 2 acts. AX, my viewers.
Who thought of that?
You did. Of course you did.
So-
You're a brilliant mind.
I was doing movies and TV and commercials, and I had worked concrete and logging and all that stuff that you said. And so I remember reading Billy Bob Thornton wrote Sling Blade while he was on the set doing another flick, and he wrote that. So I was like, so while I was on the set in Black Dog, I wrote the first Logger, which was literally, it was a play and it had an arc and it was nice writing. Now it's more like joke. I turned it into joke. But I wrote that down there on the set, and while I was doing it, you know, Meatloaf, I had a lot of scenes with Meatloaf in that movie, Black Dog, and I was telling him what I was doing, and he said, well, you know, you go up to that little town you live in, you go up to some guy that owns a tap room or girl, and you say that you want to do your play in the tap room, and you invite people in there, and you know, you get part of the door and he gets part of the door. That's not how I ended up producing myself, but so, you know, I would have talks with Meatloaf, and then Patrick Swayze was great. I was cast in this movie Black Dog, and the star was Kevin Sorbo. Kevin Sorbo played Hercules on TV. There was Xena, there was Hercules. Kevin Sorbo, the Hercules program was produced by a woman named, you'll know, Rafaela De Laurentiis, who was Dino De Laurentiis' daughter. Wow. So they made this vehicle, Black Dog, for Kevin Sorbo. I got cast as a trucker, good part. Randy Travis, the singer. On the other hand, he was in it. Meatloaf. I get cast in this as a good part, and number 7 on the call sheet about, you know. And God darn it, we shoot for 2 weeks, and Kevin Sorbo comes up with something bad in his shoulder. They shut down production and recast it with Patrick Swayze, which is like pennies from heaven. Okay. So we went back for 2 more weeks and shot the lines, and then I was there on that picture for like 2 months, which is good. But Patrick Swayze was really good. He was all boy. He was very, he would concentrate. He liked to go out at night and have a good time. His wife was on the set most all the time, chain smoking. But any of those stars I've worked with.
Dirty Dancing.
Dirty Dancing, man. You know, he gets to the set, Patrick Swayze, we're having the table read, which for me, it was a fascinating thing. I'm sitting there, Randy Travis. When I was driving dump trucks as a 19-year-old, 20-year-old, I was listening to Randy Travis on the radio in Stowe, Vermont, Morrisville. Now I'm sitting across the table from Randy Travis, and we're buddies. But Patrick Swayze had a limp, and he had just had a bad horse thing and a broken something or another. So he wasn't going to do any dancing, but he could do that picture. And that picture is kind of a cool picture.
So we're going to move for a moment and talk about The Logger. To my viewers, it's a fabulous performance. You became someone else. Because I can pick up on your Philly accent a little bit, because I've got it, water and things that we say.
Yeah.
Water. You leave your persona,
Eagles.
and you take up a personality that is not necessarily yours. Or is it?
Yeah, it is.
It is?
Yeah, you're on to something there. Now, let me give credit. There was a play I mentioned earlier, Jew Divine, which was written by David Bunbill, which was like an Our Town, for you theaterati who know what Our Town is, of Vermont. And I was in that play, and Vermont Rep toured it 3 or 4 times, and it was a big hit. 6 people in it.
Right.
3 women and 3 men. Not in Jude.
Oh,
yeah, there was a narrator, David. It was the character was called David. Anyway, I played a guy, several guys, but this guy called Antoine Lamotte, and he was a French Canadian. And I didn't take my show, The Logger, from David's show, but from being in that show many times, I learned about timing. I learned that this audience will come to see at that time in the 80s, will come to see what the real Vermonter was and enjoy it. So then years later, only 8 years later, when I'm driving back and forth from Vermont to New York City, I'm writing these stories in deference to the real loggers and real concrete guys and lunch ladies and lunch men and Vermonters who I held up very high in my mind. You know, I could have wrote the Doctor play, but in Doctors I love, Nurses even more I love. But anyway, but you know what I mean about the nurses. So I was just, my line of thinking and my natural flow was to write about working class. So I wrote these stories, and that character, the guy when I was working doing concrete, you know, I wasn't that guy, but right. So my ear took that. Then I wrote the stories, and then I learned them. And from what I learned from Robert Ringer and David Budbill, I made a play out of it.
So, and I know this may be too much to ask.
Go ahead.
No, I don't want to overstep my boundaries.
Calm down.
Okay. Would you be willing? I'll never calm down.
No, well, that's
That'll
the thing.
never happen.
All right.
But would you please, if it's not too much to ask, could you give my viewers a 2-minute example of the loggers? And for you, those who have not seen you transform into this most loving and authentic Vermonter with a heart of gold, but with a wit that could cut down the oldest and largest white oak in the Green Mountains. And Rusty does not fade when it comes to swear words, even before swear words were in. But keep it clean for my audience if you can. Would you be willing to do this? That too much to ask?
Here.
All right, so we're going to get 2 minutes of Rusty DeWees as the logger.
My wife's been some ornery lately. It all started back when I got arrested for deerjacking. He'd had me dead to rights, shooting across the road, resting it on the hood at night, using the light, held a season. I'd been running the roads one evening when my headlights flashed on the big burly one standing out the field out there. It wasn't like we needed any extra meat or anything. I just thought if I could set up for a shot without it scurrying off, I just might try and bag the healthy stag. So I pulled my truck beside the road, grabbed my rifle, got out and flashed it. And that deer did not move. So I loaded, cocked, and I drew crosshair onto that trophy. That deer still did not move. So I queried. I thought if that buck had not opted to scurry off yet, well, it was probably having a miserable life up to now and wanted to die anyway. So I redrew ahead, squeezed the trigger, and submerged one deep and into the gullet of that big belly buck. You know, that goddamn deer still did not move. So then it goes on and
I
on.
love it. Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that.
It's 30 years old, that piece right there.
Wow. Well, now you've also written 2 books, Scrollins and Scrollins 2, T-O-O.
And my mom gets credit for that. When I wrote the second one, I was trying to think of the thing, and she's like, Scrollins 2, T-O-O. Yeah, my mom.
I love it.
Yeah.
Your mother is still alive?
No, 2016.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your
Yeah,
dad?
thanks. 2005, because he was 50 when I was born, don't forget.
right,
He lived to be 93 and a half. Mom, 86. So it's all good.
Okay.
It's all good.
It is all good.
Appropriate ages.
It's appropriate. Yeah, we're getting there, by the way. So you've written 2 books, Scrollins and Scrollins 2.
Yeah.
Talk about your books.
I'd written these logger things, plays, and then I still am on WOKO. I'm on. It's a radio station, country. Dan Dubonnet, C.K. Coyne, Wild Bill, and goddamn Rod Hill. Anyway, 30 years ago, I went to them, said, you want to sponsor? And they said, yeah, you want to be on the radio in the morning Thursday during when you're doing shows and call in Thursday at 7:30? I said, yeah, I've been doing it for 30 years. I've called from Ireland. I've called from Italy. I've called from everywhere. Anyway, I would do these call-ins every Thursday, and that's huge publicity.
And what would you do?
And Rusty DeWees, the logger. Hey, how you doing today, Russ? God damn it, I don't know. I got my britches down around my ankle, and I can't even. Now you're in milking. This is 1986. No, 1995. And you're hearing that, you're taking your kid to school. Turn that right up. Anyway.
So WOKO, Thursday mornings.
98.9.
98.9, Rusty DeWees.
The whole crew. I wish I
Tune
could
in.
say them on. Now, hold on.
Okay, I'm holding.
I'm on that radio every Thursday, and there's a guy named, I'll think of it, but over in Denton Publications, over in Elizabethtown, New York, and there's all those little towns over there, and there were 6 papers over there. John Giroux, G-E, Rowe. He called me up and he said, Rusty, I'm over here in New York and I hear you on the radio. Okay, he said, would you like to, this is another example of what I did. It was just, everything was fantastic and I didn't do it to get anywhere with it, but it just, no, I don't mean the creativeness of it. I mean the business part of it.
Yeah.
And he said, I'd like you to write columns. I have 6 papers.
Whoa.
And I said, well, I'm not so sure I can do that because I'm not a classic writer. I talked to my friend Peter Hart, long since passed. I said, I don't know if I want to do that, Pete. And he said, by the way, all you young people, don't ever commit or say no or yes on the phone with a deal right away. Say, could I get back to you tomorrow? That's what you want to always do. But
good advice.
And Pete said, there's people that go to college for years hoping they could get a column in one little dinky paper. This is when papers, were. So I called John back. I said, yeah, I'll do a column for you weekly. It's gonna be in every 6 papers. I said, under these conditions, no one edits it. Because my stuff is, I don't want to sound like someone else, like you said earlier. He's himself. Right. Somebody going to edit your writing? Get the hell out of here. Well, your thing you did in the class that we.
Thank you.
I mean, come on. Yeah. But that's the way the real world works, and it can be any amount of words and about anything. Not 9,000 words.
They had to pay you.
Well, he said, yeah, great. And I said, well, to myself, I'll do these columns, and if people like them, I'll know it, because they'll see me on the street and go, Rusty, I love the logger, and I read your column. And if they were going to do that, then I would maybe, it gives me the potential to collect them, redo them, and put out a book, which I did. But yeah, man, I mean, I'm working, I'm gigging, I got videos, DVDs, and god darn calendars, and now this guy's going to pay me $60 a paper. Times 6, $360 a week.
Wow.
Yeah, to write, and so I did that for 7 years. So I was paid big money to write my own book. So that's how the book is a collection of columns.
Of that, so where do we get your book?
Call me up, 802-793-1901. I'll drive it to you. Bear Pond Books in Stowe.
Bear Pond Books in Stowe. What about Phoenix? Any of the other local?
You could call them. They'll call me. They don't.
All right.
These bookstores, I love them. I go to all of them, and I don't go on that Amazon thing. But they can't be carrying a book that's goddamn come out in 2007. But just call me, Rusty. I got them.
And what's
They're good.
I want a copy. Would you get me a signed copy?
There's 2 of them.
Oh, I want to. I want a signed.
Too.
I want a signed copy. I would love to read
Absolutely.
your essays. That would be so much fun.
They're pretty good.
Okay,
They're not all funny.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I would love to read. I think you should do them in Audible, so people like me, whose eyesight's not very good, can listen to you speak and read them. You should do an Audible book.
You got enough ching in the bank, I'll come right to your house and read it for you.
Well, that is a great
No, I
offer.
decided, Melinda, all joking aside, the first one came out in, I think, 2007. All joking aside, I had the option to do them on the thing, and I made because I had DVDs, videos, 3 DVDs, 4 CDs, calendars. I was producing it and publishing it, all of it, and fulfilling it. And I was like, I'm not gonna do an audiobook thing. If they want the thing, that's why I didn't do it.
You have to read it. All right. Well, I'm gonna come up to your house and pick up a copy. A copy of each, and I want them signed.
We'll go to the Artisan.
And you should brew me. Yeah, and you should. No, I want to come and see your. You have a lovely little place.
Right.
And I'd like you to brew me a cup of green tea while I'm there. Okay. So now you hosted the series Little Hard Hats. Please talk to us about that.
When all this
Little Hard
stuff, folks, this is like this is the mid to late 90s, and I'm doing all this stuff. Now we're talking more about the business side of it. What I just said.
So you're like 30.
All those things are going on. It's 34, 30. I've been doing it 30 years, 31 years. 95, I started. 35 years old, started to make money as a lawyer. But man, that's back when. I had an audience of hundreds of thousands of people, and I would do the graduation speeches and everything, do those for free. But that's when you had Borders, Barnes & Noble, over 100 local mom and pop bookstores in Vermont, which I drove to every one of them and gave them my books. I mean, and I'm getting $20 each book. And I sold tens of thousands of them. I sold hundreds of thousands of tickets. I didn't get produced by the Flynn Theater. I rented it. I didn't get produced by the artsy a little bit, and no strike against them artsy people, but the arts organizations. This is real shit here. The arts organizations at that time weren't accustomed to producing a guy who had all these people who would come out of the hills to see me. They were doing certain things like the plate spinning Egyptians are coming through, or whatever. So when every once in a while these groups would call me, they'd say, yeah, so that'll be great. We'll put you on our little flyer that people get in October and they'll flock out. And I'm like, your crowd is, first of all, only 180 subscribers to your thing. And I know how to produce to my people.
You're a good producer.
So I was doing all that stuff.
Good for you.
And raking it in. Now, what was the goddamn... so at that point, this guy, Fred something, I'll come up with it. He had Fred Levine. He was living down in Waitsfield. This is true. So I'm doing all this. John O'Brien had Man with a Plan, and George Woodard's doing his show and everything. Things are happening. There wasn't that much to do. Fred Levine's in Waitsfield. He's got little kids, and he makes a little video for, just honest, you got you, little video for the kids, and he puts it on the TV, and the kids are watching the video. So Fred's like, what if I made a video about road construction, and there's the toy, and there's but really do it out on the thing, and he produced himself. George Woodard narrated it.
Oh, George Woodard.
All right, so George is there. This is a bulldozer. I'm telling you, right? Now he starts selling them. Goddamn parents are going crazy. Well, he gets on frickin' the NBC Today show, Fred Levine. This is in mid-90s also. And boom, little hard hats. So now I'm doing all my stuff, and George, he said, George, you want to do a second one, road construction too? And George said, no, I got milk. And which is true, he said that. He said, why don't you get Rusty DeWees? So Fred Levine calls me and he says, Rusty, do you want to do this stuff? And George doesn't like doing scripted stuff either, you know. And I said, yeah. So I did, I think, road construction ahead 2. I did farm country ahead. So I turd you not. All this whole thing with the logger, from teenage kids to college kids to their parents, was going on. And I'm going all over the state and this and that and speeches. And then this guy puts me on his Gull Darn videos, Farm Country Ahead, and he's got an audience of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people all over the United States. Now I'm on that. So not only would people see me on the street or at the Champlain Valley Fair at my booth or somewhere, I'd see this young family coming up, different, not my core audience, with a little kid, and they're coming toward me. And I'm like, well, they're not the logger audience, but they had the little kid, and the kid loved me. And the little kid would go, and their parents go, that's Rusty, because I was Rusty on Farm Country Ahead. Hi, I'm Rusty. You ever know where potato chip, you ever wonder where chocolate milk came from? And the kids are, so that was kicking too.
Wow.
It was like lightning striking in a bottle, man. But I'm telling you, no time for anything else. That's going to be one of your questions.
No, it was going to be 7 Days has written about you and called you a hot commodity. You have been considered Vermont's favorite stand-up guy. What do you say about that?
Well, back in those 90s and the 80s in Vermont Rep, there wasn't much going on. So when 7 Days would put out a who's the best or tallest or some shit, it would be me, because I was the only one doing it. But here's the thing, all joking aside, and I hope that people realize that I don't think I'm worth a dang. I went to New York and saw a guy on Comedy Club the other day, and it's a small 50 people. Jim Norton, he's a well-known guy, and I'm sitting there going, I'm still doing shows now. I'm still doing shows, you know.
Oh, I know.
But not as many. And I looked at him and I said, I have no recollection that people have come and sat there in the audience and saw me up there doing stuff. It's kind of no recollection. I do not identify that by that. However, 7 days has put me on the cover 3 times. That's a bragging thing.
Wow.
You know that Sports Illustrated has that. Like how many times is what's his name been on the cover?
I've only been on once.
Well,
on the cover.
well that's good.
So, but I'm going to be dead before I ever get on it again.
3 of them. But
look
do I
at you,
have
you
any
hot.
of them at my house?
Well, you should. They should be
I
framed.
don't. They're right.
So
they went right out and smoked.
Speaking about your house,
Calm down.
so
Okay.
your house has been highlighted
Already
often.
calm down. Actually.
Talk about your home in Stowe. It has been said that it reflects your earthier side. What does that mean, your earthier side?
It means we brought, not in a weird way, and I know you got a nice house that you like to. What it means is, like anybody, you get an apartment, you make it your own. Well, I built the house, and I made it that I like. 39-inch counters. Everything's up high. Not high, you can grab stuff too, but I brought the outside in. So if you go into the bathroom, master bathroom, there's a step up, there's a big rock.
Oh, I love
and there's
it.
and then in the sink, when them goddamn
Bowls.
yeah, you put the marble around it and bowls, stainless steel. That's on a rock.
Oh, fabulous.
Goddamn tree right down through the floor, but it ain't rounded. It's flat. So I brought the outside in, and that's what they mean probably.
So now you have sold lots of merch.
Oh Jesus.
Over the years, thongs, women's underwear.
Yeah. See, now people listen to that now. They probably shutting it off because they don't like that.
No,
I know.
But I love
but
it.
now
Thongs
you can't do that.
Are you still selling thongs and women's underwear?
No, I think I'm all sold out of them.
You're all sold out. So how do people get your merch?
There was a time.
What's your website?
All joking aside.
Yeah.
Remember the times again. It was the mid-'90s, and there was a time when, and I'm being, because this is respectful, of course, to everyone. But I recognized my not ability, but there was something there that I could sell to fortify my brand, and that was sexuality. Because right, and I know you, so you're not afraid of that. So I would have the shirt thing and everything. I grew up watching these things, and it's show business, and you're looking at people, and I wasn't the guy that was. Woody Allen sold his presents when he was young, but it was nebbish.
Not sexual,
well, it's nebbish. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I recognize that, and therefore all that stuff came about. Now, people can say, "Oh, that's awful, you sold thongs."
No, I think it's fantastic.
You do, but other people can say that.
My viewers, I think it's fabulous that you did that you sold. And by the way,
My little picture was on the front. But who would come up? Who would come up to the table at the fair or at my show and buy them things? The husbands for their wives.
Absolutely. Now I have 20 minutes to get through the rest of this. So I just want. Where can people get your merch? Because I know you made a lot of money. You're a rich man. So.
Well, listen. I have, and I mean this too. I am not retired.
You're repurposed, Melinda. Or whatever.
I'm repurposed. I do have some merch. I have the books and things, but I don't have any sweatshirts now. I don't have any hoodies to sell or anything. I don't really do that anymore. If you want me to come to your event and do a thing, or I do shows.
All right.
You just call me. I just gave my goddamn phone number on that.
You act as your own agent, producer, presenter, director, publicist, and fulfillment service, and people have shared their knowledge that you are no dumb woodchuck.
When you come to my show, early days, I had to concentrate more. I'd be in the back, and my friend Don Como come out and play 3 fiddle tunes. When you come to my show, the past 25 of the 30 years, I am there in the lobby. So I said to myself, folks, the core audience that I like want to see, and I swear, they want to see, no, they don't want to. They enjoyed seeing that I was working. I wasn't just, so anyway, I said that the thing. And also, if you bring in your 14-year-old son who's bought my hat and he's got the boots on, I'm going to be standing right there when you come in.
You're here.
It only makes sense.
Absolutely. So now let's look at this. In 2003, you packed the Burlington High School with 8 shows. Yeah. 6,000 people at $18 a ticket. You grossed $108,000. You have created an image that has been very lucrative. You bring joy and laughter to people, and they are willing to pay to laugh. Your 2 videos grossed well over $1.3
got
million.
three.
$1.3 million. So I would venture that you are a gifted businessman, Rusty DeWees.
Remember now, people listening, go back to when I moved to New York City. What happened? I got a job being an assistant to William Doyle.
There you go.
And I sat there for 6 years and drove him and listened to his business. Now, it's not that I had a natural tendency to know how to do that. It's that I liked it.
You enjoyed it.
So I liked, when I remember doing the shows up at the Haraway Theater with Ringer and Bud Bill and Megan, Jen O'Rourke, Megan's sister, I'd go out back and it'd be snowing before we're doing the thing. And I'd go through my lines and I'd see the cars coming down and I'd be like, good. Because we'd put a lot of work into this. So I get as much fun out of doing the business side of it. Very good, you picked that up.
Well, yeah, you're very
as
good.
The creative part of it. And I mean, and it was a time, Melinda.
The time.
When people would go to, I hit a nerve. And for years, hundreds, they would go to these shows. And I set them up strategically. So they went to this town, and it was at this town, and they'd tell their cousins, and they'd come. And they'd buy the video, 2 videos, and then resold them as DVDs and did a 3rd video. People wouldn't buy one. Well, we got to send one to Aunt Ethel out. So there was a time when you could make money like that.
Right.
And it's not that way necessarily for what I call myself as a low-level showbiz guy.
But
it's a low-level showbiz. It's very
Right.
difficult for those people to be able to do that.
You were
now.
very successul. You used to race cars at Thunder
Road. That was all
Talk
part of
about
it. Well, Ken Squire said to me, "You ever think about doing this?" I went to Thunder Road. I said, "Yeah, not because racing was in my blood, but because I knew that's my core audience. If I'm going around that track flipping over."
Oh no, you didn't flip over.
I did 3 times, one time.
Why?
But the point
would you
is,
do
then
that?
when people would come to me at the fairs at my booth, they say, "Hey, Rob, you still racing?" It was a part of it was a part of the
part
market.
of the
I
thing.
did like it.
I know, but it's part of your thing. I love
did
it.
like it. Wait a minute. Go back to that page before. There was something I wanted to address that I didn't address.
Well, what? I'm talking about that you're a gifted businessman.
Go ahead.
All right, I'm going to keep moving here. You were an accomplished guitar player, and you have a guitar that was made for you. I heard you play it at our workshop. Talk about your music, and you are drawn to hymns.
Right.
Are you a religious man?
No. Hymns, I go to church in Stowe. I return there because it's that big white church. My dad was head usher. Went in December for a special thing, and I'm going to it just because I love
Bless
it
your
now.
heart.
Dad and Mom, I grew up in that church, so the hymns are in me. That's number one. Number two, I'm a drummer by trade. Duffy Miller, my parents got me a private drum teacher named Duffy Miller, who I'm still friends with, and him and his wife went to Switzerland with me and this girl, Anna. Still friends with him. But then my dad went to the nursing home. When I was 42, he was 92. And I went every day. We had a version of Alzheimer's, you know. And I got a guitar so I could play 3 chords. And from there, I would play at my fiddle player friend, Don Como. And he'd play, I'd go over to his house. I'm godfather to his daughter and Peach's wife. They helped me with the shows, and she did in front of the house. And I said, by God, I can chord pretty good. Someday we'll do this on stage. I did it on stage. Don and Peaches got done doing the shows because they had grandkids. They didn't want to travel. I hooked up with this Patrick Ross, genius, on the fiddle and mandolin. And then from then, I'm like, I like this. So the guitar is a recent thing. And you said accomplished.
I love it.
Very not
No, I think
necessarily
you
true.
were.
No.
So you perform for free often.
Oh,
and when
Jesus
I
Christ.
was up at my workshop with you, you had just finished performing at a nursing home.
Yeah. Listen, and I mean this, all you people out there.
All you people.
Now
listen up.
I'm a showbiz person, and I'm not impressed. Probably all the shows I've done for 30 years, man. 2/3, a little over half for free.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Well, the gall darn
Thank you.
freaking Girl Scouts of Rutland 2003, calling me up, and the woman who's the head of it or something says, Rusty, I saw your show, and my husband and I think you're cool, and I got the Girl Scouts down here, and we're having our thing, and got me cupcakes, and it's for Christmas. Would you come down? And, well, here's the thing.
Well, there you go, folks. That's all you have to do. What's that number again?
It's truthfully.
Give people
802-793-1901. It's truthfully in me to want to do that. That's the first thing I want to do. Back in this part of the brain was always a flicker. That also is helping your business. No,
it's helping your business. Yeah,
it's
that's
helping my
true, too.
business.
Yeah.
Free.
Yeah.
Half, who knows, maybe more than half of my thing. God darn, last week I was in Bethlehem, New Hampshire. Woman called me 3 months ago, or whatever the thing. We're military people making money for guys and girls that kill themselves.
Oh,
we're having a thing up in Bethlehem there in New Hampshire, and we're going to ride our motorcycles in, and we're going to have the firemen are going to be there. We'd like, we're going to be all day music. Would you come up? Would you come up and do a little bit to open it up Saturday morning? I say, yeah, man. Aww. Why? Because money is going to people that are
that need it.
So yes. Grace Potter sat here. Who knows what she's doing for free?
I know, absolutely.
And
her
that's just gall darn the best thing about being a public figure is not give me the 20.
No.
And the 25
so what can I do for you?
Freaking driving up to the Girl Scout thing, and they're freaking the frig out, and they got icing all over their faces,
I know, God, I love you.
Cripples?
So now,
not cripples, but old people.
Physically diverse.
Ah, fuck that. They're a cripple. they those people. But that's a joke. Calm down if you're offended. And by the way, if you're offended, you could be wrong.
You can call him. You have his number.
You could be wrong.
You can call him.
No, and nursing homes is what you said.
Nursing homes.
I was up in Glover 2 weeks ago. They actually did pay $200 because some of them nursing homes, they have some money for people to come in. And listen, if they say, we got some money, I ain't going to say, you keep it.
I'm going to think of a reason to get you to come and perform. I'll think of something special.
I'm performing right now for you.
Well.
Look at that.
Yeah,
That's all.
But think about how many people this is going to reach.
You know that word?
Thousands and thousands
these
of people.
cliched politicians, I don't follow politics.
Thousands of people are going to see this show.
I don't follow politics, but one of them wears now is performing there. I was just performing it for them.
1,000 of these people.
I know, they tune in.
So you have
Moments with Melinda.
So now you have said that you feel blessed that you found something that you loved to do, and you will never take it for granted.
I don't take it for granted. And how? What does that mean?
I don't know what it means.
I'll tell you.
It's a stupid question.
No. That was I was driving you into the goddamn answer. That means this, Melinda, is simply put. If it's raining, like when I go out there right now.
Is it raining?
I'm saying.
Okay.
What does not taking it for granted mean? It means many things, but I'll zero it right down to it.
Zero right into it.
We'll go back to hymns in a minute. If it's raining, I ain't going. Well, geez, I went out with Melinda's program. It was fantastic. We had fun. I love Melinda loves. We have a Rick, the hut. They got the nice place. But when I left, it was raining, and I wanted to go to town. You see what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Well, yes, the rain.
The rain.
People got to get it out of their head.
Rain.
People got to get it out of their head that
Rain
when you say,
green.
"Hey, it's a nice day," and they go, "Yeah, it's supposed to rain later." That's what not taking it. And
there you go.
That's what not taking it for granted is.
Well,
always choosing to be positive.
Right.
As much as you can. It's a practice. Side. It's a practice.
Look on the bright side of everything. Okay, now can you leave us?
Jesus Christ, my heart's going 90 miles an hour.
I know. I can tell you're just so excited. My gosh.
No.
So can you leave us?
Hymns. That was because Dad. Okay, I already said that.
So can you leave us with your words of wisdom for our little green mountain state?
I think I just did.
Well, words of wisdom for our state.
Positive.
As we all try to navigate the state of our union here in America. What you say, Rusty DeWees, to soothe our souls of all the people who are suffering right now around the country.
God,
whether it's because of climate,
when you
or
say
because of poverty, or because of the high price of gas, or because of the fear of losing our democracy. What do you have to say to my viewers to soothe their souls?
That's too deep for me because I don't have the fear of losing for democracy.
Share that.
I don't have the fear of these things. I haven't had a TV for over a decade. It doesn't come into my house.
Okay.
Sure, I have the Instagram. Sure, I'll see the things come over, but I guess to try to be serious, and I appreciate you asking that question. I think the only thing I could say is investigate yourself broadly and then specifically, because it's a choice. How you're feeling about help people. Be nice to people. Don't see the rain and be sad. That is a bringing you down thing. You choose how to take all these things that could be construed as negative. You choose how to go through them. Only thing you have is your choice of how to deal. I'm dealing with a serious health problem. It's my choice on how to deal with it, because I got it. I can't go back and not get it. It's my fault that I have it. And I can't say what's going to happen forward. I can say in the moment, I choose how to do that. And we could get into another political thing. I'm not into the politics, but I don't.
It's your attitude.
I don't recognize that stuff.
You have a good attitude, right? Which is good for you.
I've been all over the world the last 2 or 3 years, and I just see love and happiness everywhere. You see that. I didn't watch the World Cup. I don't have TV, and I don't care. But I see clips of all of them goddamn people sitting there. Really, I think there was a fight in the last one between players. How can 80,000 people go to all those NFL games, all through, and you hardly hear of a gall darn somebody saying, "Get the hell, get down! I can't see the game." It's inflated. Choose how you do it. Now, a lot of people have difficult things come through their lives. A lot of people were born into difficult situations. It comes down to your choice, man.
It's your choice. So now we're coming to the end of the show, and I just want to say to you.
I don't like to preach. I don't think that wasn't preachy, was it?
No, not at all, but I think it was wisdom.
Okay.
You have wisdom to share, and you shared a lot of wisdom today with my viewers, wouldn't you say? Folks out there? Absolutely.
Steve, the camera guy, he 2/3 filled this out for us, and it was just right because we're just out now.
So thank you, Rusty. This is what I wrote to you. Thank you, Rusty, for being on my show.
Thank you.
You are a gift,
Thank you,
a legend, and a friend to so many. And you are a heartthrob of a human loving spirit. And we all love you. I want to thank you.
Can we hug?
Can we hug?
Yes.
Are we allowed to do this?
I go this side.
Okay.
No, you're great. Listen,
we look like twins.
On the way out, calling Holly, no, hands-free, and my sister Holly.
Yes,
I'm like, yeah,
Holly.
I'm going to be on Melinda's thing. Melinda said, oh, she was in your class, right? Yeah, and I said, yeah, Melinda, remember I told you about her, and she did the thing of her grandson Rowan? And Holly goes, is she the lady that said you make her purr? Remember?
Yes.
And so Holly knows of you, and she doesn't even know of you.
I want to know, Holly. So
how do you get your presents to Albuquerque, New Mexico? Because you are it.
Oh, stop it.
Look at you.
Anyway, you do make me purr. And to all my viewers, I want you to go out there and purr about life, and try to get through your day and enjoy this beautiful summer, and be glad that it's cool in Vermont. And you know, rain brings the green, so let's be happy for that too. I love you all, and I'll see you soon. Thank you for joining me and Rusty DeWees. Goodbye.